The other night, my wife and I were browsing through Netflix looking for a movie to watch, which can be difficult because we have different movie tastes, but we settled on a film called The Platform. This is a Netflix original movie. It was a film released in 2019, went out to festivals that year, and was picked up by Netflix and released this year. The plot is pretty straightforward. This guy wakes up in a room, he has a cellmate, they're actually in this very tall tower of rooms, and there's a platform that descends down the center of the tower, reaching all the rooms, and on the platform is food for all the people in these rooms to eat. The trick is only so much food is put on the platform at the beginning, and it starts at the top and works its way down, so you really only have whatever's left as it reaches the lower levels of this tower. And therein lies the conceit of the entire film, a message about society, about the haves and the have-nots, and how the elites and people at the top have the most to start with, and everyone in the middle and the lower levels simply get what's left over when it gets down to them. And in the film, that's illustrated with food. The platform is initially adorned with all types of dishes to feast on, and only by the time that it reaches the middle and lower levels is the realization understood that there's simply not going to be enough left for everyone at the bottom. On the one side, this is a really heavy-handed message, but on the other, it's a really compelling way to tell a story. I mean, there's no way I think that you can watch the movie and not understand what it's basically trying to tell us, but you can also enjoy the movie on its own terms without necessarily spending too much time feeling bad about being a middle or upper class individual. The problem with the people in this film is that they're just so selfish that they consume everything they need just given on a daily basis. At the heart of the story, we just have our main character whose name is Goring. He originally wakes up in this room with his first cellmate, but as time goes on, Goring and his cellmate actually get moved to different levels, which is why it becomes so frustrating that these people haven't worked out a system to make sure that enough food gets from the top all the way to the bottom, because anyone at the top this month could be at the bottom or very near it by the next month. You know, they try to communicate with people that are in the cell above and below them, telling them to ration better, but people just don't care. They just are caring about their immediate survival, day to day, and taking as much as they need so that they can survive. So eventually Goring actually develops a plan that he's going to ride the platform down all the way to the bottom, and he's going to make sure along the way that people ration out the food better. Of course, they meet all sorts of resistance along the way. Their lives are put in ever more danger. Every level down they continue to go. They don't even really know how far the bottom is. Goring just has an idea that there's maybe 250 levels based on the amount of time that he's calculated that it takes the platform to go all the way down before he sees it quickly coming back up. So the plan is really twofold. Goring thinks that by reaching the bottom and by successfully getting food to the very lowest level, that maybe this whole system, whatever entity is controlling this tower, they're called the administration in the film, that maybe by successfully getting food all the way to the bottom, that it'll break the machinery and reset the system, that somehow they'll all be released, or that something will happen to deliver them from this hell that they're in. Alternatively, the backup plan is that as the platform goes all the way back up to the top, that maybe they'll be delivered that way. I actually enjoyed this film a lot more than I thought I was going to. You might watch the trailer and think it just kind of looks like a Saw movie. Someone wakes up in a room, they're in this trap, and they kind of have to play this game to get out. It's not really like that. And it's got this social message going for it, so it helps you take it more seriously. Now, I should point out that this is a foreign language film. It's a Spanish language film, and you can watch it that way on Netflix. That's the way I chose to watch it. There's an English dub version, and there's some other languages you can watch if you speak other languages. I generally avoid English dubbed films. I just, with all respect to those voice actors, it can be really hard to recreate those performances. So personally, I just like to stick to the native language track, which again, in this case, is Spanish. So if you don't mind reading subtitles, I think you'll enjoy the film the most that way. Also, this is a violent film. There's blood, there's cursing, there's mutilation of all kinds. I wouldn't say it's excessively violent. Again, it's not like a Saw movie. The focus is not necessarily on torture, but just by the nature of what the film is about and what these people are going through, yeah, it's violent. So if you're the kind of person that likes a movie with a message, despite how dark and violent it can be, I recommend that you watch The Platform. Personally, I think it's one of the better Netflix originals that I've seen, and I'm pretty sure I can promise that it's going to stay with you for some time. Check it out.